Hello and welcome to Soulmate Coach Crystal, where we learn to attract, create, and maintain relationships that are lasting and loving. Are you afraid of being hurt? I am. You know, when I was 17, my dad died. And then 17 years later, my first husband died. And so for me, there came a lot of fear around loss and being abandoned and being hurt. And so that's something that I have to be very conscious of because I'm married, and in my current marriage, I have to be very aware that I'm not allowing the fear of him dying or leaving or being left in some form to control the marriage. It's something that I have to honestly look at and deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so I'm asking you guys, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being hurt? Are you afraid of being left alone? Are you afraid of being lied to, cheated on, of someone dying, getting sick? I don't know, but are you afraid? And what is it costing you? One of my favorite sayings is what we resist persists. And if you look at my example of being afraid of being abandoned, if I don't deal with that fear is like a rock in the middle of my life. And I will do in the middle of the road of my life. And there will be amazing things that I will do, not talk, withdraw, overreact, all kinds of things to keep from having to deal with the fact that at the core of this, I'm afraid. And, once I look at that, I have choices. I can own that I'm afraid. I can find different ways to deal with that fear, to keep it in check, to not let it run my life. And so, but it is a process. And so I'm reaching out to any of you and all of you out there that know you have that fear in your life. You know that even though you're dressed nice and your head is high and, you're not taking those stuff, behind a lot of that is fear. Fear of letting people too close, fear of being vulnerable, fear of opening up, fear of being left, fear of being abandoned. There is fear there. And to keep from having to deal with that fear, you put all these walls and borders up in your life, and you protect yourself, or at least you think you are. If this is you, I ask you, what is that costing you in the long run? And what needs to change? Well, you guys know I welcome all questions and comments. You can reach me at soulmatecoach@gmail.com. Soulmatecoachcrystal@gmail.com. You can also reach me on my website, soulmatecoachcrystal.com. And if you're out there and you're struggling with this and you know it's you and you can't even deny it another second, shoot me an email, and we can set up that sample session and really begin to look at ways to deal with this fear and to process it so that you can actually have the life and relationship you want and not one driven by fear. Oh, well, that's it. Thanks for joining me today, and I will talk with you soon. Blessings.